What's up, guys? It's Michael and I'm back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro video, and this is a deck profile for my Gem Knight deck. It's, I don't want to say it's out of the ordinary, but I guess it's, it's not running Gem Turtles, so I guess you could say it's out of the ordinary. But, anyways, I'm gonna get right into it, and I'm right into the deck profile. Then I'm gonna tell you how it works, basically, and then I'll just show you an example by playing the AI. Alright, so I run one Gem Knight Garnet. The reason I only run one is because I run 3 Volcanic Shells, because these are easier to get out than this, and this is only like material for Citron or a Aquamarine, and so I only run one of them. 3 of them will be too cloggy. 2 of them, I tried it, doesn't work too well. So I only run one Garnet. I mean, it's a nice 1900 beater, but you really don't want to use it for beating anything. You pretty much want to use it for Gem Knight Fusion. So I run one Gem Knight Garnet, 3 Gem Knight Tourmaline, 3 Gem Knight Sapphire, 2 Gem Knight Alexandrite, 3 Gem Armadillo, 1 Gem Knight Eolite, 2 Summoner Monk, 2 Rescue Rabbit, 3 Gem Knight Obsidian, 1 Neospatian Grand Mole, 1 Morphing Jar, 1 Gem Knight Lazuli. I was debating whether or not to put a second one in or not, but I'm gonna have to play around with that and see. 3 Volcanic Shell, 3 Gem Knight Fusion, 1 Heavy Storm, 2 Lightning Vortex, 1 Monster Reborn, 2 MSTs, 1 Return from Different Dimension, 1 Mirror Force, 1 Magic Cylinder, 1 Release from Stone, and 1 Divine Wrath. I think I should take Magic Cylinder. It was kind of clogging me, and I might put in another Lazuli. So I'm going to try that out. But yeah, that's my main deck. For my extra deck, I run 2 Zirconia, 2 Prism Ura, 3 Citrain, 1 Amethyst, 1 Topaz, 2 Aquamarine, 1 Gem Knight Pearl, 2 Lavalval Chain, and 1 Daigusto Emerald. You see most decks running a Gem Knight Amber, but I went ahead and chose I replaced it with Gem Knight Eolite because its stats are better. It's a 2000 defense card, and it's just more material for Aquamarine and Amethyst. Because I mean, like, it's great that I hardly play Prism Ura. Most of the time, I usually play Topaz and Aquamarine and Zirconia, so I really didn't see a use for another Thunder type monster when I have 3 Tourmalines already. And Aquamarine's like a pretty good opener. And if you don't know what it is, I think this is Rock too, right? Yeah. So if you don't know what Gem Knight Aquamarine is, it's when this card attack, it is changed to defense position at the end of the battle phase, which it's all right. You're never gonna attack with it. It's going to be in defense mode all the time. But if somehow they get over that 2600 defense, when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, target one card your opponent controls, and return that card to their hand. So basically, it's a compulsory evacuation device in a card, and it's a 2600 defense, 2600 shield. That's pretty good, but I mean, it doesn't matter how it goes to the graveyard. It can be tributed. It could be it could be used for Gem Knight Fusion material. It could be popped on the field by whatever, a torrential tribute, whatever. Just whatever happens to this card when it leaves the field, you can pop one card. Amazing. For some reason, Topaz is really good. I don't know why. It's only 1800, but the fact that it can attack twice in the battle phase, and if you do happen to destroy an enemy's monster by battle, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of that monster. So if, let's say, you run over there, for some reason they throw out let's say they just throw out a Rescue Rabbit for some reason, and they couldn't do anything about it. You attack it once, you do 15 plus 300 plus another 18. So, I mean, Gemini Topaz is is pretty fun at times. I've actually played quite a few games with Topaz, and I've won using Topaz. It's actually pretty amusing since it's only 1800, and most meta cards these days are like at least 2000 plus. Amethyst is all right. It's when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, return all set spell and trap cards on the field to the hand. So basically, it's a giant Trunade in a card. Its stats aren't that. I mean, the stats are all right. It's 1950 attack and 2450 defense. So I mean, it doesn't protect you from much, but what you kind of want it to be destroyed anyways. So you take out all that back row. I run 3 Citrine, like I said, and if this card battles, your opponent cannot activate the effects of spells, traps, or effect monsters till the end of the damage step. So they cannot activate Battle Fader, they can't activate Gent Looper, they can't activate anything like Mere Force or Divine Wrath or like Magic Cylinder or anything, which is pretty good. Prism Aura is once per turn you can send one Gem Knight card from your hand to the grave to target one card on the field, face-up card on the field, destroy it. So basically, if you happen to have Obsidian in your hand, just throw Obsidian away, get that plus, and it's gonna. Yeah, it's a +2, I guess. No, it's a +1 and a -1 for them. So because you get to pop. I mean, you get to throw Obsidian away and then special summon a level 4 or lower normal monster, which could be Eolite or any of these cards, and then you get to pop a face-up card on the field and destroy it, and then you could basically, hopefully, you could go straight attack directly. I mean, it's 2450 attack, so it's not that bad. It's decent, but like the biggest beater you have in this deck is Gem Knight Zirconia, which is 2900 attack and 2500 defense. What's great about it is the fact that it's not an effect monster, so it can't be affected by things like Fiendish Chain or something like that, which is nice. Gem Knight Pearl is just in here because of Ophion, just in case, because none of these monsters can run over Ophion except Zirconia and Aquamarine, but the fact that you can't special summon level 6 or higher, level 5s or higher is the reason you need Gem Knight Pearl. 2 Lavolval Chains. The reason I run Lavolval Chain is because you can send one card from your deck to the graveyard. You can, if you don't have a Gem Knight Fusion, send a Gem Knight Fusion to the graveyard, because you're definitely going to discard. If you have Rescue Rabbit into 2 of these, you're going to detach a Gem Knight card, so you can easily get Gem Knight Fusion back into your hand. And then I run 1 Daguster Emerald because you can use its mini pot of Avarice's effect, or you can use the second effect, which is target one non-effect monster in your graveyard, especially on that target. So more material for fusion, for Gem Knight Fusion, which is great. I run 1 Neospacian Grand Mole because it's a rock, and the fact that their opponent needs to get over this card, because if they can't get over it, you're just going to be annoying the shit out of them, just constantly bouncing cards back and forth. And then I run 1 Morphing Jar just because if I don't have anything in my hand except all Gem Knight monsters, and this card, you can pop on the field, let them attack into it, destroy both their hands. Hopefully you don't set off a chain reaction, but if you do, you have a better chance of getting cards, and you have more Gem Knight material in your graveyard. For stuff. Gem Knight Lazuli, what it does is if this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can target 1 normal monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand, which is nice because you can. I usually use Lavolval Chain's effect to throw out a Lazuli, and so you can add a normal monster because you're gonna throw away one of these. You're gonna throw away 1 Exceed material like one of these, and then you can get it back by Gem Knight Lazuli. So that's pretty nice. And Gem Knight Lazuli is useful for Gem Knight Fusion to pick it back up. Because Gem Knight Fusion is when it's in the graveyard, you can banish 1 Gem Knight monster card from your graveyard, and then you can return Gem Knight Fusion to your hand. So basically the main Summoner Monk is really good with this with Gem Knight Fusion. It's actually kind of broken, I guess, because you can play Summoner Monk, use this effect to throw pitch Gem Knight Fusion, pick up another Summoner Monk, exceed summon into a Revolval Chain or something, dump a Gem Knight card, and any Gem Knight card, into the graveyard, then use Gem Knight Fusion's effect again to banish that Gem Knight card that you threw in the graveyard, and then pick up Gem Knight Fusion back, which is great. Gem Knight Armadillo is nice because when it's normal summon, you can add one Gem Knight monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a great searcher. You can search for any Gem Knight monster card, no matter what it is. And it's 1700 attack, so it's pretty decent. It's a good searcher. So why wouldn't you run it? And Gem Knight Alexandrite is you contribute this card to special summon one Gem Knight normal monster from your deck. You kind of lose a normal summon, but the fact that if you don't want to go into Zirconia right away, you can get into Aquamarine or something else. Gem Knight Sapphire, so you can get a Sapphire and then one other card, play Gem Knight Fusion, and then get into a Aquamarine right away. I tend to go into Aquamarine first turn if I can, because that shield is pretty hard to get over, and then from there I can set up my defenses or go on the offensive next turn. And if the chances of him using a Dark Hole, pretty slim. And the fact that it only has 1400 attack cannot be bottomless. Great. The only thing that could happen is Torrential, but, the chances of them Torrentialing their whole field possibly, very low. And the fact that if this is first turn, they can't do anything about it. They have to get over. Basically this deck is pressuring your opponent to try to play over your cards by wasting a lot of resources, which is really nice because you want your opponent to waste as many resources as possible, so they have a smaller possibility of outplaying you, because you don't want that to happen. And Volcanic Shell it's a pyro, so it's nice for Citrine. And once per turn, when this card is in the graveyard, you can pay 500 life points, which is pretty minuscule, to add one Volcanic Shell from the deck to your hand. So if you don't happen to have Garnet in your hand and you want to play Citrine, you can easily get a Volcanic Shell. And since you can use Gem Knight Fusion, if you happen to have Volcanic Shell in your hand and you have Gem Knight Fusion, you can play Gem Knight Fusion and get Citrine right away, and then use Volcanic Shell's effect later in the game if you really want to get another Citrine. Pay 500 and add another Volcanic Shell from your deck in your hand, and then you can get another Citrine. The only problem with Citrine is it's only 2200. It's not that great of a beater, but it does battle over most defensive monsters. The only problem is its effect is good, but it has to attack. So if it doesn't attack, it's kind of dead on the field, unless it's open. But then you can go for it. Gem Knight Obsidian, if you don't know what it is you can target, if this card's sent from the hand to the graveyard, you can target one level 4 or lower normal monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So, I tend to always use Gem Knight Fusion with Gem Knight Obsidian, because if I happen to have this in my hand, I can just get that monster back onto the field. And it's great. And the reason why I run Divine Wrath and Lightning Vortex is the fact that you can discard one card, any card, and destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls, or discard one card and negate the activation of an effect monster and destroy the effect monster. The fact that you can discard Gem Knight Fusion and then pick it back up by its own effect is pretty great. It's amazing. I run Release of Stone. I haven't actually tried using it. I just put it in now. It's select one of your remove from play of rock monsters and special summon it. When this card is removed from the field, destroy that monster, and when that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. I really don't run that many back rows, so if this card happens to stay on the field, it doesn't matter. It's alright. It can target things like Alexandrite, Armadillo, but you really don't. It doesn't matter because it has to be normal summon. You can get Grand Mole, and then bounce a card and then pick it back in your hand. So you can it's basically another way to get your Grand Mole back in your hand. Hell, if you want to get Morphing Jar, but there's no point. But you can use it for Alexandrite, Grand Mole, or Zirconia, which is 2900 beater, which is really nice. Or if you really want to gem that Pearl to battle over Ophion, but you know you have Zirconia. I hardly play Pearl, but it's in there because of Ophion. Because Ophion is 50 attack more than like Utopia and other rank four Exceed monsters. You need to have Pearl in there. And it's a Gem Knight monster, so you can banish it for Gem Knight Fusion. So yeah, that's basically my Gem Knight deck. I will show you guys how the deck works after the break. So I will see you guys in the game. Peace.